We're back for Game 2 of our 2025 simulated NFL season, with Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs taking on Justin Herbert and the Los Angeles Chargers. Not in LA, not in KC, but in Brazil.
Come to Brazil, please? No. Come to Brazil, please? No. Come to Brazil, please? No.
You're going to Brazil! As a reminder, if you're new here, in this series I'm making a custom cocktail for every primetime matchup this season, then simulating the game in both Madden and my homemade Monte Carlo simulation. If you missed the season kickoff between the Eagles and Cowboys, you can go back and watch that by clicking on the card in the top right. But without further ado, let's get right into today's drink, the Ice Lightning. For this matchup, we're once again doing a pretty standard combination of two drinks associated with each of the teams, but we've got a secret ingredient that's really going to add some funk to this one. So, first up, hailing from the middle of the country, it's a drink whose name conjures images of frozen fans cheering through the cold in Arrowhead. It is Kansas City Ice Water. Much like the murky color of this drink, the history behind Kansas City Ice Water is incredibly apocryphal and scattered, with no real solid origin in terms of location or even time. The drink is in the same niche as drinks like a Long Island iced tea or an AMF. It's generally accepted as a popular order of the Midwest bar scene. It's just one of those, like, fuck me up but make it enjoyable type drinks. The core spec of a Kansas City Ice Water is vodka, gin, lime juice, triple sec, topped off with the lemon lime soda of your choice, creating this kind of cold, citrusy, cloudy concoction that's gonna leave you passed out in the Uber at the end of the night. One theory for the drink's name is that it's named that because it looks like the Missouri River that runs through Kansas City. I don't buy this explanation for a second. I think what's far more likely is that, college students were asking bartenders to just make them something strong that tasted good. And so that sort of led to this core spec. And then, the students were like, oh, what's this drink called? And the bartenders just kind of went full dungeon master mode, like their mind went blank. They're like, it's got ice. It kind of looks like water. We're in Kansas City. It's a Kansas City ice water. That's my theory. I think that's more likely than it being sort of intentionally named after something specific like the Missouri River. So that is our representative from Kansas City, a mysterious drink that sort of emerged from the local bar scene with no real solid documentation on who it came from, where it came from, when it came from, or even where the name came from. From the Chargers, we have the exact opposite kind of drink, a corporate creation tailor-made to be marketable. From the official vodka sponsor of the LA Chargers, it is the Smirnoff Supercharged Spritz. What a name. Ironically, despite being a soulless hyper-corporate drink, it does really sound like something that would be drunk on a college campus when you actually get into the ingredient list. All right? The ingredients are vodka, light blue electrolyte drink, and lemon juice, topped off with club soda, all right? This is just a glorified Borg. This is a glorified, gentrified Borg that's, designed for tailgate parties instead of to be carried around in a plastic gallon jug, all right? It's the drink you make when you just want to get drunk and also kind of act like you're not drinking, like you can just pass it off as like, this is just Gatorade, So from what I could tell, this drink dropped in 2023, but because it is a corporate creation, there's no specific name or location attached to it, just kind of, popped up in the advertisements around that time. But if by some miracle Smirnoff is watching this, maybe you can tell me who I should be giving credit to on this one. Now, I'm sure at this point you can probably see how easily these two highball drinks could be combined, but you're probably also feeling a little disappointed. Really, Connor, you're just gonna add some blue Gatorade to a Kansas City ice water and call it a day? But there's one detail that I've been conspicuously ignoring, and that's the fact that this game is being played in Brazil. So, to Brazilify this drink, we are not going to be using plain, boring old vodka. Sorry, Smirnoff. Instead, we are going to be using cachaça. So cachaça is the most popular spirit in Brazil, and as a matter of fact, it can only be made in Brazil. It's kind of like champagne in that way. It is a protected designation. It's quite similar to rum, but whereas rum is distilled from molasses, cachaça is distilled from sugarcane juice. So if you've ever had a rum agricole, it's actually quite similar to that. The end result is that cachaça to rum is kind of like demerara sugar is to simple syrup. It's just got this different flavor palette. So it's more, I describe it as really kind of green, kind of that like lemongrassy, super funky, like a little bit of like almost banana in there as well. Whereas like a rum, you might have some of those more like baking notes, sort of those more brown flavors. So this should add a really interesting bit of funk to our drink. So with this secret weapon, we are going to be elevating our Ice Lightning from a simple party drink to something fit for the streets of Sao Paulo. So for this drink, we are going to do 1.5 ounces of our cachaça. Oh, it smells so good as well. Like, it is just such a cool scent to it. 1.5 ounces of gin. So this is going to be quite strong, but like, of course it is. Like, both of these drinks are kind of just designed to be party drinks, right? They're designed to hit you hard and get you going, so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do it hard. 1/2 ounce of lemon juice. See previous video if you have an issue with this. Oh my God, it's pissing. It's pissing so hard. All right. And then finally, 2 ounces of our blue electrolyte drink. Let's be real, it's Gatorade. You might use Powerade if you want to, but like really at the end of the day, we're doing this for, you know, the bit of flavor, but also mainly just for the color. Kind of trying to get that like, well, I said trying to get that blue color. I have lemon juice in this. This might end up being green. Fuck it, we'll find out. Fuck it, we ball, you know? Just fuck it, we ball. All right. Ice cube in our shaker. Give that a good shake. All right. Crack that open. Strain it into our waiting highball that I did. I'm actually gonna open pour. I'm not even gonna strain this. I'm gonna open pour this one because I want the ice cube in there. Ooh, look at that. That actually looks pretty cool. Hell yeah. You can see the lemon wedges that I tried to garnish this with and was only partially successful. And then we are going to, oh, that's an Angry Sprite. This is that McDonald's House White right here. We are going, ooh, fuck! Angry Sprite, like I said. Awesome. All right, well, my laptop's fine. So, you know, fucking all's well that ends well, I guess. Just a bit there to top it off. Give it a nice bit of fizz. And that right there is how you make an Ice Lightning Brazil style, I guess. Saúde. I hope I pronounced that right. I probably didn't. Ooh. Oh, that's really good. Oh, wow. Oh, that cachaça flavor comes right through like a bullet. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Just, I don't know. Have you ever, I'm sure some of you watching this have played Minecraft, right? Have you ever thought about what just like munching on the sugarcane in Minecraft would taste like? Not like actual sugarcane, but like, this is making no sense. This is literally just my delusional ramblings, but it makes sense up here. It is, I am seeing the code of the Matrix right now, all right? Super sort of like, not grassy, but yeah, just that like sharp, tangy, bit of citrus from the lemon juice and the Sprite. Super cool and refreshing. Oh my goodness, like a hot day outside, like, ooh, we had a 70 to 80% humidity day here today. This drink in that weather, oh. Drink in hand, I'm gonna clean up this, and then we're gonna get right into the simulations. All right, and we are down in Sao Paulo, Brazil, kicking off to start this game, which gets off to an inauspicious start for the Chargers as the Chiefs return it to the 47-yard line. A few plays later on 4th and 1, Chargers get absolutely zero penetration at the line, and Carson Steele easily picks up 10 yards in the first down. To cap off this opening drive, Patrick Mahomes on 1st and goal easily hits Rashee Rice on that little in route. Chiefs go ahead 7-0. Chargers looking to answer on a big 3rd down of their initial position. Justin Herbert dropping back finds Keenan Allen immediately on the quick slant, easily gets to the 50-yard line. A few plays later, huge 4th down here. Herbert in the pocket, dancing, scrambling, not taking off, instead just throws the ball away. Ensuing possession for the Chiefs. You know a quarterback who's not afraid to take off and run? That's right, Patrick Mahomes, who easily picks up 22 yards, going down awkwardly there at the end. That didn't stop him from continuing to scramble throughout this game, such as on this 1st and goal in the 2nd quarter, where he easily took it in untouched, Chiefs up 14-0. And despite this really nice screenplay to a Marion Hampton, where Justin Herbert gets absolutely drilled by Mike Dana, that 1st quarter really set the tone for how the rest of this game went. With the Chargers just unable to get anything going on offense, while the Chiefs continued to move the ball at will. Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce both looking in vintage form down here in Brazil. Hell, even a Brashard Smith fumble couldn't hurt the Chiefs, as the ball bounced harmlessly out of bounds, and they scored on a quick slant to Xavier Worthy 2 plays later. And while the Chargers did manage to put together a nice drive to kick a field goal as time expired in the first half, that still left them down 21-3 going into the second half of this game. And to be fair, coming into this second half, the Chargers were determined to make it a game, behind some gutsy running from Marion Hampton and a very nice play-action pass from Justin Herbert to Quentin Johnston. That makes this a 2-score game. However, by this point, they just allowed the Chiefs to build up too much momentum to claw back that deficit, as Travis Kelce appeared to be nigh untackleable in this game against the Chargers. And after one more Brashard Smith screen, in which Creed Humphreys absolutely erases a Chargers defender from history, the Chiefs are back up 28-10. Now, the Chargers team overall may have been struggling, but that wasn't going to stop Justin Herbert from absolutely balling out as he connects with Quentin Johnston on this huge 34-yard corner route. That sets up a 1st and goal on the very next play, where a well-blocked screen to a Marion Hampton springs the rookie for his first NFL touchdown. And down 11, the Chargers defense manages to get a huge stop, which sets up Ladd McConkey for this huge 37-yard reception. Unfortunately, this drive stalls out as Keenan Allen gets stuck on a block, and the Chargers are going to have to settle for a field goal. On the ensuing drive for the Chiefs, a conversion here ices the game, so who do you go to when it's 3rd and 4 and you need the 1st down? Travis Kelce, trust none other. And that brings the second game of our Sips and Simulation season to a close with a 28-20 Chiefs victory. Alright, another game done, another pretty reasonable outcome, honestly. Now, moving along to the individual player stats, we have 2 very good QB performances, with Justin Herbert passing for over 300 yards and 2 touchdowns, while Mahomes threw for 260 and 3 tutties. Also, neither of them threw an interception, so W ball security. In contrast, the rushing numbers from this game are pretty sad all around. Obviously, there were a few big runs, but Mahomes was the leading rusher with 35 yards and a touchdown, which also, funnily enough, means he was responsible for all 4 of his team's scores. Now, obviously, in real life, we know that the Chargers, as a Jim Harbaugh team, are going to want to pound the rock, so it seems pretty unlikely that they would only run the ball 8 times between Najee Harris and Omarion Hampton for a combined 35 yards. Again, a lot of numbers to pour through with receiving stats, but a couple things really jump out. Obviously, Keenan Allen had a very nice game, 8 catches for 77 yards, but the rest of the roster really shows the Madden favoritism of players lower on the depth chart. Quentin Johnston brought in 7 passes for 59 yards and a TD, with Will Dissly also catching 7 balls for 47 yards. Meanwhile, the Chargers wide receiver 1, Ladd McConkey, has only 1 catch for 37 yards. I'm not sure what the cause of this is, if it's the QB AI or something in how the defense handles wide receiver 1s, but it's definitely something I'll be watching for as this series continues. Jumping over to our Monte Carlo results, we can see that it has a much more pessimistic view of both of the offenses in this game, holding both QBs under 200 passing yards. However, it did project the Chargers' running backs far more favorably, with Hampton and Harris combining for over 90 yards on the ground. These deflated stats resulted in a similarly depressed final score, although with the Chiefs still winning 15-13. Looking at the mode for the simulation, we can see it has the Chiefs beating the Chargers 14-7, though 17-7 and 14-14 are both likely outcomes. These tied final outcomes are another shortcoming of the current iteration of the Monte Carlo sim, which I'll likely cover in more detail in a future video. Do you agree with the simulations, or do you envision a different future? I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts down in the comments. As a reminder, our drink for this matchup is the funky and refreshing Iced Lightning. If you decide to make it, please let me know what you think, and I'd love to hear your suggestions for what drink should be your team's representative. Stay curious, stay thirsty, and I'll see you in the next one.